Like you
Right.
always have to like Lara
Ah,
is always thinking about the next thing, and like it's always dire.
yeah.
There's this moment in the beginning where she gets her foot caught in a bear trap. And this is like after the boat crash and after getting hung upside down in a cavern full of dead
Almost
bodies,
drowning.
after escaping a guy trying to stick you with his climbing axe, and then she gets her leg caught in a bear trap, and then there's wolves running around in the bushes, and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. I
It's like
like
no breaks.
she is definitely a like a superhuman for sure because like from basically start to finish, she's always in these situations where she's like tumbling down, falling like 10 plus feet in the air, like bouncing off the ground 4 feet after. It's just like, how are you still moving after that? Like she's like going down waterfalls, like slamming into stuff. There's a part where she's like riding a parachute because she's like she fell out of a plane and she's like hitting trees on the way down and stuff. It's like
Dude, she like literally gets clotheslined like in the midsection by a tree branch, falls out of the tree branch, hits her back. Like,
and she gets up like after like she's hurt for like maybe 5 seconds, but then it's like all right, let's go. Like
Welcome to the Cable Club. We're a video gaming podcast where three guys raid tombs, and we're linking up to talk about the games you love and rank them.
and commit gratuitous violence.
Not as much as God of War, but it's pretty gratuitous. This is episode number 65. We're your hosts. I'm Steve.
Dan.
And I'm Don.
And today we're talking about the Tomb Raider reboot of 2013. So, get ready to upload data from us to you. But first, boys, how about we set the mood?
Set the mood.
Rain hammered the cliffs of Yamatai as Lara clawed her way up from the wreckage, lungs burning and muscles screaming in protest. This was only just the beginning. The island offered no mercy, only jagged rocks, howling wind, and the distant echoes of something hunting in the dark. Every step forward was earned through sheer determination as she scavenged what she could, fashioning tools from broken remnants and forcing herself to keep moving despite the fear tightening in her chest. Yamatai wasn't just a place, it was a trial, and it seemed determined to strip her down to nothing. As night fell, firelight flickered against ancient ruins and hostile silhouettes moved around. Lara learned quickly how to stay silent, how to outthink her pursuers, and how to survive the island's dangerous inhabitants. Storms tore through the forest, shaking old temples and revealing secrets buried for centuries. And with each discovery, her resolve hardened. Survival became transformation. By the end of this expedition, Lara was no longer just fighting to stay alive. She was proving she belonged amongst legends.
For sure she does.
I gotta say, at the beginning of the game, with all those storms and her just shivering constantly, the one thing she didn't learn was to steal one of these guys' jackets that she was killing. Like, at some point, I'm like, please, just warm yourself up.
Yeah, it's true.
I actually had to change her outfit into something that was warmer because I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
Yeah, well, with the whole Steam sale or whatever, they gave you a bunch of extra outfits and stuff, so I put on the mountain climber one, and
Yeah, dude, $7 for the trilogy is insane
Yeah, it was
for a
nice
game
deal.
of this caliber.
I already had them all, unfortunately, so I couldn't get that deal. But good for people who wanted to play it and got it for that.
Yeah, hopefully you did.
I own them all on Xbox One from years ago, but I bought the trilogy because I was excited to play it on Steam.
On your new Steam Deck?
The new Steam Deck.
That's how I played it, and it purred like a kitten, man. Like it runs so smooth. Like this game aged well. with like current hardware.
Mm. Certainly get into that. I have some announcements though before we go there. The first was an apology on behalf of Spotify, I guess. Our Yakuza episode just was not there for most of this 2 week period. It had actually gone up twice and gone and had been down twice. So, we have decided to move on from Spotify as our hosting platform, and we're now using another hosting platform. So hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. You'll still be able to catch our episodes on Spotify. It's just now, if Spotify decides to get antsy about it, you can instead go over to Apple Podcasts or some other platform and go get our episode there, because now it being live everywhere doesn't hinge simply on Spotify hosting it. So that's bad news, but good news came out of it. And I just wanted to review this year's schedule one more time, because getting a few questions about it, which is valid. We're not the most organized podcast around here, that'd be a stretch. But we are now in the middle of what I hope to, or we're at the beginning of really what I hope to make a tradition, which is our winter backlog segment, where we're going to play 6 games for the first part of this year while it's cold and we're all inside and not having fun. We're going to get cozy and play some of the games that we wish we had played. We're gonna. This is Steve's game. I'll be picking a game tonight, and then Dan will be picking a game, and then we're actually hoping to kick it over to all of you listeners to propose games for us, and we'll pick randomly from that pool. So take a look at your Steam library. Take a look at your shelves. What games did you buy and expecting to play them, and you haven't? Now would be a good time to submit those games to us so that we can put them in our random list, and maybe they'll get picked out of that. And now you'll have all the excuse you need to play them. Look at that, doing you a favor. And then after that, we're actually going to begin the league, and we're going to do an indie game league this year. So we did retro games last year, so we're going to have guests on just like we did last year. They're going to bring us their favorite indie games, and we're going to rank them into cups just like we did, and we're going to vote on them at the end of all that. And that is going to start on March 27th. It's going to go for 8 weeks, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to go 8 more weeks and then finish up with the finale award show. So that is the lowdown for you. And if you want more information about that, go over to our Discord and join us there. You can have all the information you need.
You should just go to the Discord anyway.
Yeah,
It's a lot
absolutely.
of fun over there.
And then I just wanted to bring up with you guys, and this will be important later, I think, but I don't know why. I don't know if this is old information and I'm just the last to the table. And I bring it up in context for this conversation, but apparently FF7 Rebirth sales didn't meet expectations.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I have to ask, because I don't think either of you guys have played it either, right?
I played very little of it. I have beat the what was the first one? What was it called? Reborn? Or is it just
Intergrade?
remake?
Remake, right? Yeah. But have you played any of the second one, Rebirth?
Yeah, very, very little.
Okay.
I
Now,
didn't
my
buy it.
understanding is that's a very long game, and it's part 2 of a first game that was very long, and it's all telling the story of Final Fantasy VII. Is it just that with so many games out there to play, and the audience of that game would all be around our same age, wouldn't you say? Like whoever wants to actually play that game must have fond memories of playing FF7, and I think that would mean that all those people are around our same age.
Yeah, I would make sense.
I would say generally there are some newer Final Fantasy fans, and Final Fantasy XIV is a big proponent of that, because Final Fantasy XIV is one of the most popular online MMOs, and it does also introduce younger people to the series in general. And, they play it because their friends play it or because they know somebody that does. And then they go, oh, well, I want to check out all the other Final Fantasies. And this is like also for them. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't just for us, it's also for the younger generation to get into Final Fantasy. So I
And
would
I'm
say
not
mostly us, but
I'm not of the younger generation, so I can't really speak to this, but my knee-jerk feeling is that they probably have the same feeling about seeing all these Final Fantasy VII characters that I do about seeing Splatoon. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, it could
maybe.
be,
that's cool, I guess.
but they do a good job of like introducing everybody in the remake, though. You know what I'm saying? Even like the lesser characters
Well,
like
what
Biggs and
drew me
Wedge and
to it,
Jesse.
like there's been this like passive whole life that I've lived where Final Fantasy VII has been a thing. Like after Final Fantasy VII, they had, what was it, Crisis Core? Is that the one with Zack?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
They
Crisis
had
Core is with Zack, and Dirge of Cerberus is with Vincent.
yep, and then they had the movie
Advent Children. Yep.
Advent Children, and then he's had Cloud's had Smash appearances. Like it's just like my whole life there's been some Final Fantasy VII somewhere, you
Yeah.
know, and like
Well, to be fair,
Cloud is an
Cloud is
iconic
one of the
character.
most iconic characters in video gaming.
But is he just iconic to us? Because like
No, like
I don't know if like newer fans of the series are like as big about Cloud. Anyway, this is all to say like did Square just have the wrong set of expectations? Is it just that we all like the core fan base of Final Fantasy VII just does not have 100 hours to throw at a game times three,
I
or
mean, it could
the willingness?
it just could be a mix of things, like maybe like the older generation doesn't really care for how, action based it is. Like, I mean, that could be very valid.
I'm gonna say that there's a little bit of everything, but I think the remake sold so well because people were really excited and it fell off real hard when they made the sequel. I think people didn't like it as much as the sales said it did. I think the sales for the first remake were mostly excitement purchase, like day one purchase. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of content creators talk about it, and it's really just not hitting the mark with players in general. They change a lot about how a character feels. Like there's all these scenes that Cloud is just not like Cloud, and he's doing things that people just don't equate with his character.
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't played it,
and
but
they're changing the story a decent amount too. Like at least from the remake, it did.
They're doing like a weird parallel universe thing, is
Yeah,
what I understand, which I guess is okay. It doesn't play a huge role. Like 90% of the events in the game occur the way that they did in, or if it's like remake. I didn't play
Rebirth.
Rebirth, but I did play Remake, and basically everything happens the way that it does happen in the original game with some embellishments, but not changes. It's just like, oh, instead of the Honeybee Inn being like a, one room, they make a thing out of it, right? It doesn't change it. The Honeybee Inn is still there and it still does what it does and it functions the same.
Yeah,
But then like
I
the
don't
end
know.
has like a surprise twist, you
Right.
know? But
Well, like I don't know if Aerith lives and like if Zack lives. I have no idea. But that's what it kind of like I hinted at in the first game where it's like, oh, we can change our future or whatever. We're in charge of our own future. So like I don't really know. I didn't play it, but that's what it sounded like what was gonna happen.
yeah, I just think that this is the this is my theory. Like, I think we're grateful to have this game. I think it's good that it exists. But I feel like I would have to play this game and only this game for like 3 months with the amount of time that I can dedicate to sitting down and playing a game and not
Hmm.
play anything else. And I
Yeah.
think that's like the reason that I don't play it, because I loved Remake. I played that a ton when it came out, and I 100%ed it, and I loved every minute of it. And I was convinced that I was going to buy Rebirth on day one, and I just never did. And I know it's this huge big white elephant, but I feel like that might be the problem with AAA games now. It's just like everybody wants so much of your time, and I just don't know that there's even that much time in the day. There's so
Right.
much crap to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I am one of the biggest Final Fantasy fans that I know of, and I'm not going to buy Rebirth because I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake is, like, not good.
You're wicked stodgy though.
Mm, no, it's just not a great game. I think
You should just embrace that you're a purist, Steve. That's all. Embrace it.
that's what you
I'm
wanna
kind
call it.
of in the middle. Like I don't think it's like amazing, but I don't think it's like dog crap either. It's mid, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's, like, awful, I'm saying it's not great. I don't think it's not it didn't hit the mark for me. Final Fantasy VII is this, like, huge, like, success. It's like this transformation of the Final Fantasy series as we knew it when it came out, and the expectations for this game were monumentally huge, and it did not deliver. I'm not saying it's awful, but it just wasn't it.
Fair enough. All right, Dan, you ready for question of the week? Questions of the week? I think we have two.
Ooh. Yep. Let me pull them up. Okay. Question 1. What is the most cinematic moment in a game from the 16-bit era or older?
I'll go first. I have two, but I'm just going to say one. I think Super Metroid, fighting Crocomire, and I actually saw a short of someone reacting to that, someone much younger playing this game for the first time and totally losing it in that moment when with the jump scare, and I thought to myself, man, what a cool little snippet of a story they told in 16-bit without changing the screen at all. And it's a moment that freaks you out because of the atmosphere of Metroid, and they do such a good job with the, you know, everything about that scene. Like the horrific skin melting off, the skeleton, the quiet run back, and then he breaks through the wall and scares the crap out of you. And and you think you're going for phase two, but phase two doesn't happen. It's like a whole laugh at you, made you look psych out.
Yeah, that's a good one. What about you, Steve?
I didn't know what to pick, but I think I settled on Final Fantasy VI right in the beginning. When it comes up to the title, and it's just like you feel the music building and it's dancing mad, and then it comes up and then it shows Final Fantasy VI up in the sky with all the clouds and the lightning, and it's doing all those discordant chords all together on the organ. And then it changes to you starting the game and your Biggs, Wedge, and Terra up on that cliff. And then all of a sudden, Terra's theme starts playing, and the beginning credits start rolling, and you just see him marching up towards Narsh, ready to, basically attack and retrieve this Esper. And like all of that build up and all of that like tension is just so thick. I think it's one of those 16-bit experiences that gets you really intrigued and exciting to play a game.
Almost has like a little bit of mystery to it because Final Fantasy up to that point was just like high fantasy, like sword and sorcery stuff. I think
Yep.
there were some mechs always, but like suddenly there's these mechs that are like walking in like, mode 7 3D forward, and you're like, wait, what game did I put in?
Well, the closest thing I would say to mechs in any game before this really was you had the whale. I don't remember the whale ship, and it was from the moon in Final Fantasy IV, and then you had other airships. That was the closest thing that they had to mechs before this. So it was definitely Magitech armor was like steampunky, like it was a lot different.
War Mech from Final Fantasy 1 has entered the chat.
Sure.
What do you got, Dan?
All right. Well, I got a quick honorable mention, which is basically the whole thing with the Master Sword and Link to the Past, where Link finally gets to pull it out. That's just iconic. Any Master Sword like scene is just great to see because you finally get to pull it out and your just character gets stronger. It's great. But the one I'm gonna choose is like basically anything Zero in the first Mega Man X game, where when he first comes up, you're struggling with this, war mech Vile, which basically just, you just can't do anything to him. And then Zero just basically comes up, saves you, like does one charge shot and blows off his arm in one hit. And then Vile's forced to retreat. So you're like, damn, this guy is ridiculous. I'm glad he's on my side. And then, you fast forward to when you fight him again, when you're fully powered up in your armor and all special weapons and all that. And you still can't even like beat him. And then this is at the point where Vile actually captured Zero, and he's like in a capsule behind him, and you're sitting there fighting him. And then Zero eventually breaks out, and then jumps on his back and does like a kamikaze explosion, which gets rid of his war mech and all that. And then you actually end up defeating Vile, without his war mech. But then you get the whole cutscene where like Zero gives you his weapon because he's like on the ground dying and stuff, and you're just like, no, my buddy. I don't know. It's just like,
it won't be the last time, I promise.
No, it's not. But like, it's just one of those. It was like your mentor kind of thing, and then you're basically off to fight Sigma alone at that point. So like, I don't know. I always thought that was a great cinematic piece.
Then you get him back in 3, and then you lose him in 5.
Then you lose him in 6, 7, 8, 9.
Zero becomes Kenny after a while from South Park.
Pretty much. It gets silly. Okay. So what did we have for answers from the audience? Let's see. Lycianthia. Main one comes to mind for me is Exor, entrance in Mario RPG. Splitting the sky and there's suddenly an enemy bigger and meaner than Bowser was something young me wasn't ready for. Do you guys know anything about that? I haven't played Mario RPG.
Really?
I
I
have
mean,
not.
I feel like you do owe it to yourself to play it at least once.
I
I'm
probably
not like
will.
super high on it, but it is good.
They got the remaster for the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might cheapen the experience a little bit though. I feel like you got to play the SNES one just because you have to feel like you've been there.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't think.
with today's modern graphics, it's not going to be as impressive when that sword comes out of the sky. And
Yeah. All right. Tom, I absolutely love the way Fantasy Star 4 did the cutscenes via detailed pixel art comic panels. Really allowed the character to show a range of emotion that sprites struggle to convey. So my answer has to be the scene where your badass mentor Elise dies and how the party handles it. Yeah, that's another series I haven't really played.
it's kind of an eloquent way to handle that back in the day.
Yeah. Was it you, Don, that said you like Fantasy Star a lot?
I actually have not played it. It's on
Shining
my
Force.
on my
Oh, was
bucket
it?
list.
It was Shining Force. Okay.
I'm Shining Force. Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
pixel art always makes me think of when they do like facial expressions. Ninja
What's that?
Gaiden.
Dude, I think
It's on the NES, man. It was
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
I think Dan is getting to that now.
Lazy.
Am I? Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out.
I don't know. I know it's in there.
Legend of Kazoom, which is our very own Chef Doug, he says, Mr. X looming over the city, and that badass shit is about to go down. Music from Streets of Rage 2.
It is really good.
Although
Lobaka, Ninja Gaiden, the plane flying over the jungle, cutscene so good they pitched it as cinema display.
I really do love the like all the cutscenes in all three of the Ninja Gaiden games. Just saying, that's done right.
Yeah,
It even has like music and like it doesn't have dialogue, but it has like sound effects when he's like surprised. It's like
yeah. And then you just hear "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun."
it's awesome.
yeah,
The one where the guy jumps down, grabs the thing, and then jumps out the window,
Yeah.
like the first one. It's awesome, dude. For that era, that was like
yeah,
the 80s.
yeah,
Superb.
I love Ninja Gaiden. That game's so good.
yeah. I had a lot of fun when we played that on the podcast, for sure. Hard, but fun. All right. Matt, he says he's responding to or replying to Tom's comment. He said, oh, I forgot about that. I was thinking of the opera scene in Final Fantasy VI or the scene if you let Sid die.
The Sid Die one is heavy.
Yeah.
For not doing anything special at all and just keeping the overworld sprites and having it be just like a non-playable section that looks like it's playable. You know what I mean? Like they don't do anything special for that. Like
Mm,
no 3D backgrounds or anything. Like her
No,
standing at
but
the cliff's edge thinking about throwing herself off is so heavy.
mm.
Like it's done extremely well.
dude, Final Fantasy VI is a masterpiece.
It is. It's wonderful. That's two. It's two on this list from Final Fantasy VI.
Good game. Very well done. All right. So that was the answers for the first question. The second question is from Chef Doug. He says, what is your personal favorite gaming phrase? So
Like
what is
iconic things that.
so what does he mean by that? Is that like things that people say in like in game or like kind of like slang that people made up?
So I think he meant slang initially, but our audience interpreted it as either thing. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
I was
answer
reading I
mine
was reading the
as
answers and I was like
either.
yeah.
Yeah. So no rules. Interpret it how you wish. So I have two, in case my first one is not allowed. So the first one is catchphrase from the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, is who plays an NPC, and everyone likes the NPC. So when they go to make a sequel to the game, they create another Ryan Reynolds, only he's giant and huge, but he's not finished, and they unleash him to try to kill the regular Ryan Reynolds. And
Yeah.
I guess that line is completely like that whole scene is just him ad-libbing. He didn't have lines. Like, and I can't imagine being behind a camera and not cracking up at the things he was saying. Like, I think one of his lines is like, I like three things: guns, insert second thing here, third thing TBA. They're just like notes, like filler dialogue. And then my other one, if that one's not allowed, is Groovy
Groovy.
from Mr. Earthworm Jim, who a lot of people don't know. He was a video game character first before he had a show. Groovy. The most clear piece of dialogue on the Genesis.
What
Love it.
what about Brawl Taunts, where they had
Sure.
Sonic? He's like, "You're too slow."
Yep. It's a good one.
That's not my favorite though. I've always liked Duke Nukem.
Dude, I was gonna say that. I was
Yeah.
like, anything Duke Nukem. I ought to break a broom handle up in your ass.
You got this. I'm here to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of gum.
I'm gonna kick you in the nuts.
Yeah, that's what came to mind. But
He
come
is
on,
the
Dan,
king.
yours
He
has
is
to be
the
from
undisputed king of catchphrases.
Mortal Kombat. No,
They don't really talk in that game, though. At least not-
here.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, Castlevania, I guess, with Richter, like, die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
Was that a catchphrase?
I don't
Oh.
know.
Famous piece of dialogue.
Dark Metamorphosis.
That one. Dark Metamorphosis.
Hold on. I got one for you. I'm interested in this.
Ding, ding, ding. There we go. I like that. I'll actually type that out sometimes when like someone sends me something and it actually does interest me. And I'll say that in that exact phrase. Oh, that's great. All right, community answers. Let me get to them real quick here.
Real quick. Pull up on it.
I'm gonna pull up on it. All right, so Chef Doug, he said the instance that brought about this question is Relica, and I play D4 together. I think it's Diablo 4, and you'll hear us say, "I just pooped." Whenever you get a greed shrine, you get a bonus gold reward for every enemy you unalive while under the influence of the shrine. At the end of your character has a massive gold explosion around them, and we call it pooping out gold. We let each other know that I just pooped so that we know the shrine has worn off. That's kind of funny. I know what he's talking about too.
So in that vein, I like ninja looting. When somebody ninjas something,
Yeah,
it's another good gaming phrase.
it is. Ninja.
I want to be ninja.
I hate how people use the word dropped now. I don't like it when someone says a new product. The Switch 2 just dropped last year.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not how it works.
It's like loot.
Like nobody fought the Nintendo boss and picked up a free Nintendo Switch 2 off the ground. Like we all have to buy that working. It's just like it's this weird marketing thing that and like now companies have like adopted it, and you'll get an email from like a store you shop at and they'll be like, look what just dropped. And it's like suits and ties at like the place that I go buy suits. It's like,
okay, and then we got Mythical. It's never nap time, baby. Cold Train from Gears of War. That's another one. That's what I say to myself when I pop an energy drink. It's never nap time, baby. It's usually followed by a woo.
Oh my goodness. I don't have that much energy in the morning when I drink my Red Bull, so.
Yep. Scrolling. I think that was it. That was the last of our answers.
all right, I'm feeling a little bit marooned in a sea of audience answers right now.
That's a color.
That dad joke was savage. You guys ready to get into Tomb Raider?
But yeah, let's get in there.
Lara!
They really wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't Laura in this game. They tried hard.
Her best friend, though, the Asian chick, she says Laura, though.
She probably mispronounced her name too.
Sam.
You know Sam isn't her real name, right? That's just the way it works.
She goes, Lara. And then Laura goes, Sam.
Sam.
You're a Croft. You're a Croft. You're a Croft.
They should make a game with the actual father, dude. He seems like a badass and a legend, but we don't know anything about him.
I think it would have done more for the story of the game if they had, but we'll get into that in a minute. Before we do that, Steve, give us the overview before we get completely derailed.
All right. Tomb Raider from 2013 was produced by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square Enix, which is pretty cool. I mean, I didn't think that Square Enix was going to be, involved in a game like this. But so this game is It's a third-person shooter and an adventure game kind of rolled into one. Like you do a lot of time shooting enemies and a lot of time exploring. It's like the main thing. But it's got a little extra stuff in it like you can choose to upgrade through skill paths or skill trees or whatever you want to call it.
It's a tree.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a pamphlet, but it's a tree.
and you can specialize in different kinds of weapons, all ranged weapons. There's some climbing segments kind of like you would expect in Uncharted or, some other games similar to those. It's got a little bit of everything, but if I was going to boil it down to one thing, I would say that it's probably mostly a third person shooter.
I think that's fair. And if I'm gonna throw my 5 cents in here because we're no longer minting pennies. The When I look at this game and I think about other games like it and other games that have similar engines that like over the shoulder ranged combat, sometimes melee combat, I think of other games like Uncharted that's very similar to this. But then I think of other games like even God of War, where gameplay wise, it's actually kind of similar to this, but just with extra steps. And whether or not those extra steps are for you, is an entirely different part of the discussion. But this is kind of like where I arrive at with some of these AAA games that like I think this game best represents kind of like the vanilla core of what these games are. And from here, you have varying levels of simplicity and complexity, and that kind of like makes up all of AAA games now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but this is
Kind
like
of.
the gameplay. Run,
I
jump,
think,
climb, shoot, melee attack,
well, it allows you to,
skill
for
tree, skill
one,
tree, skill tree.
you get to explore in different kinds of ways, and it's so well varied that you feel like you get to explore all of what there is to offer. Climbing, jumping, all of those different mechanics allow you to explore your playground basically. And so the AAA formula, they have something, a little bit of something for everyone, which is why they're trying to appeal to mass audiences. So, you know, that makes sense. The third person shooting aspect and the melee combat aspect allow you to reach also multiple types of gamers, people that want to be stealthy and sneak attack and kill from behind, or people that want to just run guns ablazing with machine guns and shotgun, or,
Yeah, all valid play styles, really. Well, the bow and arrow. Bow and arrow is really fun in this game. They did an excellent job with it.
dude, it's my favorite weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. It's either that or the assault rifle. I did like the assault rifle a lot.
Dude, the
Yeah, so
assault
did I.
rifle is so broken.
It is.
It's better than all the other guns.
Yeah,
Well,
easily.
especially after you get the grenade launcher.
Well, even without it, dude, headshots
Yeah,
are only one bullet and it holds
yeah,
150 shots. You just
yep.
you just tap it and it's
Yeah.
so
And,
strong.
and I think
Yeah.
I think it also has penetration if you get the right upgrade too. We can like
Mhm.
shoot through walls and stuff, or like not like thick walls, but
What's
like
the point of
yeah.
having a handgun or
Yeah.
the shotgun has some uses, but
I mean the handgun was good before I got the assault rifle.
yeah.
the
The
bow
handgun
was
was
just as
doing what the
good.
what the assault rifle would do. Well, the only reason I like the handgun in certain situations more than the bow is the bow really sucked after you were spotted.
But yeah.
So the handgun was good for just like taking it out, and if you had to really quickly because you're aiming with a controller, shoot an enemy 3 times, you could do that. Or shoot 2 enemies 3 times and just to get them off you, you could totally do that.
Yeah, I probably underutilized the handgun,
I
but I
think
just loved the bow so
I
much.
think the
Well, I stopped
handgun,
using it once I got
yeah.
the
I
assault
think the
rifle.
handgun is definitely really good right when you get it, because then you can put like the silencer on it and you can get stealth kills that way too. But yeah, it definitely gets outclassed fairly fast. Like the bow gets ridiculous, and so does the assault rifle.
The bow upgrade is like to the point where I think if you're fighting an unarmored enemy, even if you just hit him in the chest, it kills like it deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, you get like napalm arrows, and so it's like that. It like has a grenade launcher itself. Like it's like crazy.
And it gets penetration as one of the final upgrades.
Yeah,
And the shotgun though, totally useless. That's a bad shotgun.
hey, you
Like,
can blow through doors and stuff.
yeah, no,
Otherwise, you'd
it's
be
a key.
soft locked.
It's a key. It's a key basically.
Yeah,
I
They should have put
found
the grenade launcher on the shotgun. That would have made it useful, but it's
I used the shotgun in real close range. Like when I had two enemies, I'd swap to the shotgun and shoot one and then dodge the second one and pull out my assault rifle. But When I had multiple enemies, like, literally on me, I used the shotgun.
So I tried that, but time after time, I found the shotgun wasn't even powerful enough to knock enemies down. Like,
Really.
you know
There's
how in
multiple
Resident Evil,
upgrades to the damage.
when you get the shotgun and it like clears it into like all the like it
I
sends an entire corridor of zombies
I think you're
like
spoiled from
sprawling against the ground.
you're definitely spoiled
Like
from Resident
this
Evil
is
Shotgun.
this is like the nerf of shotguns. It's not.
Well, to
And
be
and
fair,
I love shotguns in
yeah.
these types of games. I am that person who likes the personal touch of the shot.
No, I do
Well,
too.
listen,
I do
shotgun's the
too.
best thing to camp a corner with still.
No, it's the assault rifle in this game. Especially if you just aim at head level because everybody's the same height. Like you get just by sheer luck, spray and pray does a lot for you.
I don't know. I found all the guns were fun. I didn't really have, like, a problem with the shotgun. I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
use
it
it
was
as
fun.
much,
Yeah, it was
but I
fun.
I liked it better than the handgun.
Yeah, the handgun's definitely the weakest of the guns that you get, or the weapons that you do get.
Hmm. So I found this game like from start to finish was intense.
It's
Like
constant.
yeah, they
Mm,
do not like it does make you feel like you are in danger constantly. Like you
right.
always have to like Lara
Lara.
is always thinking about the next thing and like it's always dire.
Yeah.
There's this moment in the beginning where she gets her foot caught in a bear trap. And this is like after the boat crash and after getting hung upside down in a cavern full of dead
Almost
bodies,
drowning.
after escaping a guy trying to stick you with his climbing axe and then she gets her leg caught in a bear trap and then there's wolves running around in the bushes and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like no breaks.
She is definitely a like a superhuman for sure, because like from basically start to finish, she's always in these situations where she's like tumbling down, falling like 10 plus feet in the air, like bouncing off the ground 4 feet after. It's just like, how are you still moving after that? Like she's like going down waterfalls, like slamming into stuff. There's a part where she's like riding a parachute because she's like she fell out of a plane and she's like hitting trees on the way down and stuff. It's like,
Dude, she like literally gets clotheslined like in the midsection by a tree branch, falls out of the tree branch, hits her back. Like
and she gets up like after like, she's hurt for like maybe 5 seconds, but then it's like, all right, let's go.
no,
Like what?
she cauterized. Well, so that's the one part of the game where she gets like actually injured. But this is like the kind of game where I guess fire fixes all because she somehow cauterizes her broken rib, and I'm like, it's not really how
Well,
that
yeah,
works.
yeah, she finally cauterizes it, and she got that in the beginning of the game. That shit was infected a long time ago. I'm sorry, with all the
Oh,
nasty
you're
water that
talking
she's been
about
in,
when she fell on the spear and it
dude.
went
That's
through
what
and
she's
through.
cauterizing, I think. Like something that happened in the beginning of the game. Like that shit's infected. I'm sorry.
I thought it was her. It was like she cracked a rib falling out of the tree because that's what would happen to I think all of us if not that we
Yeah.
die.
I think it was compounded, right? It was the original injury, and then it was the same spot.
Yeah, she just like that shit just like sensu beamed her and she got back.
Pretty much. Or like, unless she took like antibiotics or something behind the scenes that we didn't see, but like there's just no way. Because
She
like,
literally goes in the first aid kit, finds the empty pill bottle. So no,
yeah.
it's not that.
Well, she did get first aid back from the pack that she got from the wolves for what was his name?
Grim?
Uh,
Roth?
Grim. Roth. Yeah,
Roth
Roth.
is the mentor.
yeah, she got a pack of supplies from that. Could have had antibiotics in it. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But I was just remember when she got that like injury and she's like walking in like nasty water and stuff. I'm like, no, this is
Yeah.
like, no,
And
dude.
then not only that, but she gets into Shantytown, and underneath it's like sewage, swamp water.
Yeah,
I know. Like you could get into that with no extra holes in your body and you're getting infected. Like
Yeah.
and let's just say that that was one injury. She's got like scrapes everywhere because all the like tumbling around and falling and wolf bites, you
I
name it.
mean, like I'm I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit here, but like there's like the one time where she ends up like waist deep in just blood
Yeah.
with like all the bodies and severed parts. Like, can somebody say hepatitis? Like HIV? Like
Yeah.
there's so many things you can get from other people's blood, and she's just like she's just like waist high in it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
She wasn't just waist high. She was head deep, and then she came up,
yeah,
completely
my
submerged.
god, it's crazy, and like there's so many body parts in that room. I was not ready for them going this gory with this game. Like,
Yeah.
Ooh, the
it's
room where she
crazy.
gets captured by the Oni
Yeah,
and she's hanging upside down and there's
yeah,
other
that one.
all No, that's not the one I was even talking about. But yeah, that one. I was talking about the one inside Matthias's like
Yeah,
area.
yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
That's like
Yeah.
in the blood. Like waiting in the blood.
yeah, and like she even says at one point in the game, she's wading through something, and she's like, "Oh, how do they live like this?"
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh god, it's but like even horror games, like I played The Killing Floor. There was nothing like that room where she got hung upside down. Nothing. Like that is some serious video game gore right there.
Right.
Like I don't know, you guys are more versed in that than I am, but like I'm struggling to think of something that has more viscera than
You
that.
should play
Dante's Inferno.
The Evil Within.
Dante's Inferno is a fair one.
Yeah.
It definitely has its moments. It's
I would
zoomed
say
out
it.
though. It feels you know.
Yeah.
And Steve and I were too busy laughing at playing that game
Dude, that
when I
game's so fun.
like all the time. It's going to be expensive. He's a brute. But yeah, so this is like to say that this game like never lets up. Like it's just constant action.
Which is
So
good.
totally. I'm hesitant to say there's like a gameplay loop. Like in most games, you do this and then you do this and then you do this. But this game is just like one thing after another. Here's a new thing. Here's a new thing. Here's like and like I don't know how you guys feel about all the quick time events, but I feel like that breaks it up in this game, and I don't think they overuse it.
I
No.
like it.
Yeah, I have no issues with it.
When she's gonna strike, it's always Y. When she jumps and catches onto a ledge, will always be X on the Xbox controller. And B is used for a couple small things, but they're all kind of situationally the same. So you know that if she's gonna strike, you're gonna hit that button. So once you learn it, it's nice.
Yeah, I died on like the first few action commands.
Oh, they
4
come up
times.
quick in this game.
Yeah.
If you're not ready, like I was like, oh yeah, because
And
that happened to me too.
I was not with like that guy in the beginning of the cave when he's pulling you back and he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to help you," and then he gets a hold of you and starts stabbing you. And I went
God.
to our Discord and I was like, "That guy in the beginning is not trying to help you.
And then he gets crushed.
He deserved it. We didn't know
I
he
can't
deserved
bel
it, but
I can't
he
believe
deserved
how many people have washed up ashore here.
Yeah, that's like that's where it's bordering on ridiculous. Like I feel like it could be like 20, but then when you're in that again, we're gonna go back to the bloody Oni room. It's living rent free in my head right now. How many people are in there?
It's gotta be hundreds of
Yeah.
bodies, hundreds
Yeah.
of skeletons.
And they're all fresh. So,
Yeah.
you know, this island's got a pretty constant population. It's
Well,
also a sausage fest.
No one
Kind of
leaves.
a problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah, isn't that like part of the story though, where like once you get caught in the storm, you get like pulled in?
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
other thing about it is the reason it's a sausage fest is because they sacrificed all the girls to try and become the new sun goddess.
Yeah.
That was probably a mistake in hindsight.
Sure. They're criminals. I mean, they're not smart.
I mean, they got a lot of stuff. I feel like they could just start over, you know, just be Australia, you know?
Just be Hawaii.
And but the whole like the storms pulling people in and not letting them leave thing, that bothered me too because, you know, Lara is part of this like cutting edge research team to try to find this Yamatai place, and they're going where everybody else typically goes until she figures something out and reverts them in the opposite direction. And that kind of led me to believe that not a lot of people know this, but by the sheer number of people who are on this island and in this cult, you would think it's common knowledge that everybody knows that this is where Yamatai is.
Yeah, but the other part is like
You're taught it in 6th grade geography or something,
you would
you know?
think that anybody that does search and rescue in that area would know not to go to that area, even if it was to save people, because no one ever comes back.
There's a lot of people to not come back, right?
It's
And
quite a few, for sure.
some of them aren't that old, so, you know, it's gotta be like this year. a high percentage of people don't come back.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like if you were search and rescue and you knew that nobody came back, and that would be like a you don't fly there, it doesn't matter what. Like,
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. But like there was that time where she climbs the radio tower and gets that search and rescue to come to get to her. It sounded like they didn't even know that like it was like, "Oh, if we drive in the storm, we're not coming out," because he was just like, all right, we'll be there. Just send us a visual.
right.
But yeah, like were they new? Like nobody
The
told them don't go there no matter what.
Yeah.
the other thing about the game that like I wonder about when playing it is how they have the World War II like technology, and they must have transported all this gear and metal and all these makeshift thing. They have towers and like huge, was it gondolier systems or whatever they are, where
So I get the feeling that the sun god is not that old. Like the myth is really old, but I get the sense that it was something that was also happening in World War II. So it was probably a battle site and probably occupied territory, and something happened or just time passed, and the sun god using its powers to, you know, either kill the troops who were there, and all the stuff that they built is still there from the battle, from the occupation. But I don't know. I was more okay with that. There's like more guns on this island than birds.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
give them out like candy in that cult.
I like
and you
the
only get 4.
I,
Huh.
What do you guys think about the tombs? All those cool little puzzles
well, like the
everywhere.
option, like you're talking about like the optional tombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are good.
Yeah, Zelda with violence and guns. What's not to love?
I wish they were a little more harder. Like personally, like a lot of the time, it's like you could clearly see what you had to do, and then you were in and out within like not even 10 minutes. But like they were fun. I'm not gonna lie. But
So
like there's not a lot of
well,
tombs that like actual in the game.
There's
yeah.
probably a good amount, right? Like we just didn't explore much. I'm assuming you guys made a mad sprint for the end like I did.
I
Like
got
I probably
a
encountered six.
75% completion. I didn't do everything, but I hit a good amount of it. What I was going to say about the difficulty of the shrines is I think so. Puzzles are kind of a tough subject, right? Because some people just get it and some people don't.
Mm,
And to make a AAA game where they want it to be accessible to everybody, the puzzles need to be just a little bit of scratch your head, but not a
yeah,
lot, because they don't want to frustrate people. This AAA thing, they want as many people to play as possible.
right. You know what the games don't usually do that I wish they would do with like difficulty? Like, say if you were to put it on hard, I wish that would like affect puzzles too, like make them a little more scratch your head kind of thing.
It's hard because then you'd literally have to like rewrite the level.
But yeah, I understand that. Like, it's just one of those things that I wish could happen, but I totally understand why it doesn't.
And I think that's why in video games, most of the time, hard mode is just enemies hit harder and have more HP.
Yeah,
Like there's usually not much difference in that, or you have less HP or something. But yeah, I did like the tombs, and I like that they weren't drawn out. I like that you can encounter a good amount of them just by going through the regular story, and you don't have to search the map and go out of your way. Really, like I think I encountered 6 or 7 of them, and I
yeah,
think I'm on the like I only have 3 more locales until the end of the game, so I got pretty far.
right. And there's like a skill point that you could get too, where like if you got close enough to one, it would just show up on your map.
Yeah, so let's talk about the skill points for a second. So flavor wise, I loved this because like when you first get the climbing axe, you can't use it as a melee weapon. And like Lara can't like take people down or use finishing moves or stuff like that. And like there's certain skills you can't access until you're like quote unquote hardened or a specialist.
Mm,
And like this all takes time and experience in the game, and the constant nature of being hunted down by, quite frankly, these psychotic assholes. Like flavor wise, I read it as she's just becoming more savage.
yeah,
Like she decides that at some point this climbing axe is a weapon to defend herself with, but also at some point decides that not only is it a weapon, I can also dig it into the top of a guy's skull, and I'm just going to start doing that.
That's one of the really cool aspects of this reboot trilogy is once you finally make it through, and I know this isn't this game exactly, but in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, she becomes almost savage,
This is
like
it's a
in the
really
jungle.
really neat way to tell a story through upgrades. Like, I don't know. I was really impressed by that detail. I thought
Yeah.
that was cool.
So like I'm so glad that they're coming out with like the basically the reboot of the first original game, because this whole like trilogy is basically like a prequel leading up to the badass that she is in the original series. Because like when you play her in the original series, she's already crazy. Like she can jump like she can jump like 6 feet in the air, like like do backflips and stuff. She dual pistols, like it's kind of like a storytelling of like how she became to be that, and it's
Dude,
awesome.
that's one of the coolest parts about the end of the game. Do you care if I spoil it, Don? It's just a little spoiler.
No, no, go ahead.
So, right at the end of the game, you get in this fight with Matthias, and you end up like he knocks your gun out of your hand, and you end up grabbing his gun, and then grabbing your own gun, and then she gets to do the dual wielding pistol thing at the
Yeah,
end.
So neat.
yeah, it's to pay homage to like the original series because
Well,
that's her signature, like dual pistols.
she has this other moment when you're going through the shrine that's burning down, or the palace, I think it is.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a big palace.
and she gets the grenade launcher and she shouts, she's like, "That's it! Run! Run from me!" And "I'm gonna kill you all!" Like, there's this moment where she snaps. I'm just like, and it's so cool to see that. I mean, horrifying, but it's so cool to see that transformation.
Yeah, and right
From
near the end, she does something similar. She's like, "I'm coming for you all. Let's see who you really are." She's just baiting him, rage baiting him.
But, like, I think what makes her so badass in this game is that she is terrified, but she's
Oh yeah,
still doing it.
right.
Like, it's that psychology of bravery thing. Like, bravery is not being afraid. Bravery is doing what you have to do in spite of being afraid. And,
Bravery is
like,
is
that is
acting
bravery.
in face of fear.
Right, and if you're not afraid, your actions don't make you brave. You're just not afraid. But, like, she's scared shitless for half of this game and is
She's a
still
Croft.
pressing forward. Like, it's so awesome. It's so awesome.
And she also has a lot of self-doubt too in the beginning. And then like Roth has to like keep, reaffirming that like what Steve said, you're a Croft, you can do this.
Yeah, no, you're
Trust your
you're
instincts, girl.
Yeah.
you're an
You've had
absolute bore.
you've had
You know who my favorite character is?
what's that?
The Scottish captain that you can't really understand.
What was his name? Grim or
Yeah,
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grim.
Grim. He takes 3 guys out with him.
Handcuffed.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, "I'm not scared of you. I was in Nam," or whatever he was in, and he headbutts the
Yeah, I like him.
and then, but, like, he's the only character. So, you mentioned Uncharted earlier, and I have to say, I don't have that much experience with the Uncharted series because I played Uncharted 4 first and tried to go back to the other
Why
ones
would you
that
do that?
well, because it was the game I got with my PlayStation 4 when I first bought it. It was like a pack in, right? So, and it was awesome. Um,
Dude, that's a game I'd love to talk about. The whole time, just real quick, I'm sorry to
yeah,
cut you off,
yeah,
but
no, go ahead. Go
the
ahead.
whole time, dude, you don't know if you can trust your brother.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so good.
so well that actually ties into my point is that this game's story in the way that it handles the other characters, I was just not really impressed by the other character. Like, I wasn't sad when Roth died. Like, I was
Mm,
like I didn't get the whole attachment between Lara and Roth.
right.
Like, they didn't really do anything on screen at all to make me feel like these characters had a close bond. Like, Roth said things that we would all say if we were being nice and on a marooned island.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, man. You're brave. You can make that jump. You can make that jump. You're a Doan.
Well, the thing
Like,
about it is
whatever I
like,
got to do to psych you up to go get the coconut over there so we can eat.
well, I mean, you find out that he's a friend of her father's and
Yeah.
she's known him her whole life, and then he even or
Just
she
had her,
says,
her her dad. Her dad just should have been. Like, they should have just eliminated Roth, and her dad just should have been the person.
Yeah. That would have
That
been
would
would
have
be
been cool.
something.
better.
That would have hit harder, I think, too, with the
Yeah,
death. Yeah.
there was no rapport in these characters where and Roth wasn't doing it for me because like in Uncharted you have Sully is Roth in that, but Sully is like really charismatic and a scoundrel and cheating Nathan, and they have this really fun dynamic where Nathan's the one with all the skills, but you know he's obviously the planner, Sully, right? And they have this fun relationship where he has to half trick Nathan into things most of the time, and it's you know and like it's a fun dynamic to watch. And even if you thought Nathan hated Sully, you would still not want to see Sully bite it. And Sully almost bites it throughout the series several times. And I think both times I saw it, I was like, oh man, Sully.
Yeah.
And like you said about Nathan's brother in the fourth one, like just the other surrounding characters and Elena too is really funny too. Like her and Nathan have a really fun dynamic too. And it's just like the other characters in Uncharted really do a lot to support the narrative. And I feel like I just wasn't feeling it with any of the side characters in this. The whole
Yeah.
story was Lara.
Well, that's the thing is like I think they kind of did that on purpose to almost make you feel isolated. Like I think they wanted you to not get super close to the characters. I think it was a choice.
Yeah,
Could have
it's
been,
just
yeah.
weird because Lara does seem to be close to these characters. It's just my feeling as the player was disjointed from hers. And that kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they're not
Yeah.
with you for most of the game, honestly. Like they're with you on the ship, but then that quickly goes away when the ship gets caught in the storm and Lara's by herself.
Yeah, the only
For
one that you spend like a fair amount of time with until near the end is Ralph.
Mm.
And dude, when he was sniping those people on the bridge, that was sweet.
Yeah, he went out awesome though. He did have an awesome death.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he
I
saved
thought
you from Matthias.
I thought he got Matthias. Like I thought Matthias got shot.
Yeah, it looked like it, but
I was like, whoa.
dude, how about that? He's like limping around when you first meet him. He's got his crutch. Like, what an actor.
He got so they show his leg. There's a good chunk bitten out of it by a
Yeah.
wolf.
I was like, what was it? I could see bone almost, it looked like.
I mean, wolves are scary, dude. You know,
Yeah.
some of the biggest wolves can get up to 7 feet long and 175 pounds, like from
My God.
nose to tail.
No thanks.
And they're never alone.
Yeah, these wolves were big too. They were probably around that. What was that other guy? The guy that like kind of betrays you. What was his name? Like Whitaker or
Dr. Yeah, Whitman.
Whitman.
Oh
Whitman. Yeah.
man, he has this one line where he's like, "These people on this island are a anthropological
Marvel.
marvel." He says, and I'm like, "Oh, here we fucking go." Like
Dude, there's a
I was
note
like, just
that
put a
you
bullet in his head now, for
Yeah.
Christ's sakes. Just do it. This is not going to end well.
So one of the cool like parts of the game where you get all this exposition is from all of these notes that are left behind, and then they read it in the voice actor's voice, and
I
you
love
get to
that.
see some insight into the other characters' frames of mind and their opinions and things all over the place, and it's pretty cool. And near the end of the game, I found a couple of Whitmans, and he's like saying stuff like, "None of these people are gonna understand, and that's why it's perfect. I'll be the sole survivor." And he's like planning on letting you all die just so he can
Yeah.
get the glory, and he wants documentaries made, and he wants to be the center of attention. What a douchebag.
Well,
Yeah.
plus everybody else seems to know where this Yamatai Island is, and he doesn't. So he must feel like a real idiot when he finds out there's like 1,200 people on this island already.
Well,
You kill a lot of people, dude. And there's already a lot of people dead before you get there.
Yeah.
Like you
That's
go into the
true.
tombs and there's walls of skulls. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
yeah, but the walls of skulls in those tombs are old.
Yeah.
So
Could have been from
fair
World War
enough.
II. Who knows?
I mean, World War
Or
II is
even
almost
older.
100 years ago now, just saying. But yeah, it's quite a trip, the whole game. And I think we're about at the extent of it, honestly. Surprisingly, it's a brief little romp and there's not that much meat on the bone in this game. I think pretty much what we're describing is what you end up getting. Right?
Well, you know what's great too about this game too is like if you have a fear of FOMO, fear not, because you can go back to any checkpoint via the campsites and you can go back and collect everything. So you can actually 100% this game. Like you don't have to like fear like you're missing out on something if you just want to, continue on with the story and you don't want to like explore. Because you got to explore a lot in this game, and sometimes like you just want to take a back seat from that and be like, all right, I just want to progress the story a bit. But like, yeah, you can just do anything at your own pace, pretty much.
So how about the weapon upgrades though? Because that confused me. Because once in a while I would loot a body and I would find a weapon upgrade, and then sometimes I would shoot somebody and they'd fall off the cliff, and I'm like, oh no, I hope he wasn't a weapon upgrade. like,
I don't really
is it
know.
just random?
I
Like,
don't think it would
what is
soft
it?
lock you like that out of upgrades. I don't think so. Because I know what you mean. But like when I played this game, like when it first came out, I was able to 100% it, and so I don't know. Maybe I got lucky.
I
I don't.
think when you're a certain distance into the game, there's like a chance that anything will drop the weapon upgrades that you'll need, and I
Okay,
don't
we think
think
it's
it's
a chance.
static.
Okay,
Yeah, I think, like, if
that's
there was
fair.
an enemy and he rolled to drop the item that you need, but he falls off and it disappears, then it'll roll on another item nearby or another
Yeah,
person or
that's
whatever.
probably what it is.
Because
Okay.
I didn't run into any problems upgrading my weapons either time that I've played this
Yeah,
game,
same.
and I've knocked some people off of ledges.
Well, sometimes I do it intentionally, depending on how many enemies there were. Like, sometimes it was important to do. And then I guess so. This is my first ever Tomb Raider, which honestly I think is
Oh,
a
it's
good
such a good entry to start.
No,
right. Well, because it's kind of like a prequel, right?
yeah,
But in that same vein, though, like, is this how the old Tomb Raiders played too? You were going through a central storyline, and then you'd like encounter a tomb once in a while, or like
no, they're like
how was that set
well,
up?
okay, well, the first game is basically just tombs. Like you're just like tomb, and it's stage based. So once you go through one stage, you can't go back,
Okay.
and they're all just tombs pretty much. And you're not in like one area, like you go around. But eventually, I think like 2 and 3, you start going into the jungles and stuff like that and whatnot. But the gameplay is pretty different. Like there's a lot of missables if you're not like exploring thoroughly, and it has like tank controls and stuff like that because it's back in that era where we didn't have a second analog stick, so like a lot of like panning the camera with like the shoulder buttons
Eleanor.
yeah, the shoulder buttons.
I didn't play the old ones. I tried to, and it was really difficult to control, so
Yeah,
I didn't really get into it,
I
so
mean, they have
which
a
is why
remake out now.
so glad
yeah,
they're remaking it.
well, that's what I was gonna say. So there's good news now. So they actually already remastered the first games, like all of them actually, 1 through 6. So you can get one through
There's
three.
6?
Yeah,
There's 6?
yeah, dude. So there's the 1 through 3s in one bundle, and then you can get 4 through 6 in another bundle.
Are 4 through 6 the PlayStation 2 entries? Like
I think the fourth one might have been like PlayStation 1. Don't quote me because I've only played up to 3 and I've only beaten the first game.
because
So
I've heard bad things about the PlayStation 2 one.
yeah, I mean it could be. Like I like Tomb Raider, but I haven't really gotten that far in the series. But like yeah, so like you can play them all with like modern controls now. Like you can use the analog stick to like the right analog stick to change the camera. You have like full range of motion with the left stick. Makes the games a lot more accessible if you're not used to like tank controls and whatnot. And they also have, I can't remember the year, so don't quote me on the year, but it was like 2005 to around 2010. In that time frame, they actually came out with an anniversary game of the first game. So that was an actual remake. So the one that's coming out in 2006, that's like a remake because they already have a remade one of the PS1 game that was for PS2, and that one has like decently modernized controls too. So like you could play all whatever like that one is actually pretty good too. The first remake, like the 2007 one, that one's a good one to play as well.
Might have to give it a shot. I mean, I think I definitely wanna play through this trilogy just gradually, and
Absolutely.
I love the length of this game. Like, we talked a little bit about this at the start of the show, and it's kind of like what I was saying about those 100-hour games. And I enjoy that this game feels robust and feels accomplishable, and feels like I could turn it on and do a couple things and then be okay. Like I could go raid a tomb or something, or I could go find, the GPS caches or whatever, right? I could do a couple of those things and I could gradually get my way into like 100%ing this game in like, I don't know, like 15, 20 hours,
Mm,
whatever it takes. Doesn't seem like it'll take that long. But if I just want to play the story and complete that, it's like an 8 to 10 hour experience. And that's so manageable for me right now. Like it's such doing this podcast is fun for me in a different way, and I love that I get to experience as many games as I do. But then there's a game that comes along like Yakuza that we played last time that
you're
I'm just
welcome.
like, man, like I
Like, what was
want
he
to finish
thinking?
that game, but like when am I gonna go back to that game? Like it's just
Yeah,
so hard to get back there. And like but not just because of the podcast, but because like every ounce of gaming I do takes place like
yeah,
after 9
yeah,
9 p.m.
yeah. If
You
you have
know?
like a busy life, that's definitely like a retirement series, like the Yakuza
Yeah,
series. Is like,
but it's so good though.
yeah. I
But I
mean,
just really appreciate that this game has that level of playability for me right now.
yeah.
Like,
I actually still have to beat Shadow. Like, I got halfway through that. I was playing like on the hardest difficulty, and I kept dying to this one area. I don't remember exactly, and I ended up putting it down, and I just never got back to it. But like, I definitely do want to go get back and finish the trilogy in preparation for the 2026 game that's coming out.
I'm so excited for it because I think when did Shadow come out? I think it was before I moved to Tennessee,
Was it
or maybe right after.
19, like 2019, or was it
Maybe.
before that?
Yeah, can't remember. But I got it right here.
It was either, I want to say it's like, was 17 or 19. I think it was an odd number.
Shadow came out in 2018.
Well then,
But I mean, it was a almost an immediate buy for me because I played the other two and they're just so good. And I played all the Uncharted games too, so it's really something that I enjoy, this style of game.
Uncharted 1 overstays its welcome so bad.
It was the first one I played, so I didn't really know any better.
Yeah, it could just be because I played the fourth one first, but I'm just like I'm hours into discovering the first signs of zombies and still haven't seen zombies. Like very clearly there are zombies. And I just like still haven't seen a single zombie, but like they've done everything they can to show me that something weird's going on. And they're like, oh, it's a bite, it's a human bite. And then it's like hours later of fighting normal enemies, and I still haven't seen a single zombie yet. And I'm like, dude, this is
so
dragging.
I have a question for Steve. Since I haven't played Uncharted, and you've played all the trilogy of the Tomb Raiders, what do you prefer, or is it just one of those things that it's like tomato tomato?
It's hard to pick. I would
Yeah,
say I I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer. I like them both a lot, and it's
yeah,
kind of hard to pick. But if you like these new Tomb Raider games, then there's no reason to not play any of the Uncharted
yeah.
games.
Because
I would
I might pick them up down the line because I don't own a single Uncharted game. I don't even know if they're on Steam actually. I've never actually looked.
I don't know.
One criticism I would levy is that Uncharted doesn't really have like character progression, which kind of puts me off a little bit. Nathan Drake just is Nathan Drake, and weapons are handled a little differently. Like you always have a pistol, I think, but you just pick up sub weapons, and there's not a lot of ammunition. You just go from one sub weapon to the next, basically.
Gotcha.
And that's just kind of how the game is played. And I think in that game, uh, I don't think climbing walls are as specific. Like the dude is like Spider-Man; he can just like climb anything. Um, I
Yeah,
don't know if
it's there's
Assassin's
more
Creed.
climbing in it
There's
than
a lot of climbing.
the Tomb Raider games.
And he's just casually a mass murderer instead of Lara, who is gradually turning into a mass murderer.
Yeah, good to know.
But Nathan Drake kills a lot of people. He's a real psychopath, despite him being charismatic. It's a lot of dads not going home. But anyhow, yeah, I think that's about all I had to say about this game. You guys want to get into our review?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Sure.
But before we do that, it's plug time. Before we go on, leave us a rating or review if you're listening to us on a podcast platform. It really helps out. these algorithm thingies, they really like it when people tickle them a little bit and they give them the little 5-star review, you know?
They do.
Just some nice touching makes the algorithm very friendly. So do that for us if you've been listening to us for a while. You don't have to give us 5 stars, really. You can give us any review and just be totally honest. We really appreciate the feedback. You could also subscribe if you're listening to us for the first time. Get us directly to your feed, directly to those earlobes, those eardrums. That's the inside ear part, right? Yeah. So and if you're so inclined, you could become a Cable Club member by joining our Discord and hanging out with us and being a part of the question of the week commentary and all the other stuff that we discuss from week to week, and just kind of hang out with us generally there. Or you can send us an old timey email at the Cable Club Podcast at gmail.com. If you have any comments for the show or have a question of the week, you could just submit it there. If you're the shy type, don't want us to know you, that's fine. We'll take your questions. We're good with that. You can also find us on ye old the Facebook, which is the only social media that we care to maintain currently because, we're three 30-something-year-old dads. We just don't care about your X's and your Instagrams and your TikToks. Funny story. We're banned from TikTok. So if you like bad boys, look no
Yeah.
further.
Yeah, your boy over here. He's the one who got us banned, so.
So bad.
Who's bad?
Too bad for TikTok. They're lost. So we're going to get into our review, and I'm just going to kick it over to Steve, who is hosting this part of the show.
All right. So we're getting back to grading. If you listen to the last episode, you'll know a little bit about what's going on. But here we're going to rate the game on 5 different categories. We've got presentation, which is how the game looks, how it sounds. We've got gameplay, how it feels. We've got pacing. Is the story going places? Are you feeling invested? We've got playability. Can you play it in 2026 easily or not so easily? And then we have an X factor category, which is kind of, it's just like you get to put what you think is special about the game to you or something that you thought was really interesting and unique about it. So, that being said, you boys want to start with presentation?
Yeah. This game for 2013 is absolutely gorgeous. So I actually had Hux over for my annual Nerdy New Year's party, and we were sitting on the couch and we were playing some of this, and I had it on high settings, and he's a big graphics guy, and he was just like, this game looks incredible for 2013. And I do think he's right because we played Yakuza last time from 2015, I think.
Yep,
Right.
2015.
And we had some things to say about the way that the character models moved and stuff. Although, I think a lot of that game does look really good. But I don't know if it's just like the lighting or just, the different poses that they needed of the character models in this game. But I didn't feel like I picked up as much of that. So, and I'm only going long in this part of it because we didn't really talk about this during last segment. But I just think the game looks really good. Like the lighting's good, the atmosphere's good. So, but it's got like no music. But despite that, I'm not really a music guy, so I'm gonna give it a 5 actually in presentation because I think this game looks superb.
Yeah, I mean, I echo that on what it looks like. And I would say, as far as the music goes, you have like this primal drum beating when you're in like combat and it's really tense. I couldn't like recall the like music. I couldn't like hum it back to you, but when you're in a skirmish or they've spotted you, the music gets really intense and you're in combat and like your survival instincts kick on because of that. But then they also do this really good job when you're like, for example, when you're climbing the radio tower, and they do this all throughout the game. It's these subtle things. When you climb like the radio tower, for example, there is heavy music. Like you're doing something that is dangerous. And then once you finish and you get to the top, there's like this triumphant horn sound and like you feel accomplished, like you've survived and you've learned something or you've hardened like and they do a really good job placing noise. I think that the presentation of this game is immaculate. It's incredible. Like for something that doesn't throw a bunch of music at you all the time, like they place it in the perfect places. And The music really does also get you to feel something.
I also think the voice acting as being part of this was really good too.
Yeah, the voice
The
acting's great.
the voice actress is actually a woman named Camilla Luddington, who you might know from the Grey's Anatomy series because she's been in 280 episodes over there. But she does a couple other voice acting things too that are pretty famous. But yeah, she does. I think she does a great job. I mean, she like expresses that panic at the beginning
Oh,
of the
yeah,
game with all that like heavy breathing and like shuddering and shivering.
yeah,
Like, she's obviously having a good
yeah.
time
A
and
fun
in
fact
that
too
VA booth.
is she also did the motion capture for Lara too.
Oh, they actually use motion capture in this.
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah,
Maybe that's why it looks so real.
Yeah. Yeah, that I really think motion capture was the way. Like, we just had to figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's come a long way since Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Alright, so
I'm the same guys. Like this game is absolutely beautiful, from like
so
all the landscapes, the tombs, whatnot. And I just like the very little details of like if you actually look at like Lara and all the the tumbles and scrapes that she gets, and it actually shows on her if you don't change it. That is, it actually shows on her uniform or like her clothes, like you'll start getting like little frays at the bottom of her shirts, like a couple of holes. And it's progressive through the game. She actually like makes like makeshift like finger gloves eventually for her hands, and like
I wanted to point out that she's getting rolling around in all the dirt and all the scrapes and all the blood and all this stuff all over her, and then she falls into water in a cutscene and it's washed off.
just the attention to detail in this game is outstanding, especially for like 2013. Like, yeah, I'm on board. I'm gonna give this a 5 myself.
fair enough.
All right, so let's move on to gameplay then. So Don started first. How about you start on gameplay, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, for 2002 today, like this game is aged beautifully. Like the controls are buttery smooth. Like just the way that she moves, it's just like so fluently. And I love how they like baked in like her stealth controls, like in the game. Like you don't have to like toggle anything for her to sneak around. As soon as you get into like a vicinity of an enemy, she already gets into like the sneaking mode, and it doesn't hinder like your movement or anything. It just feels so incredibly smooth. And then, the gunplay is great. Like all the guns feel good. The bow and arrow feels excellent. The climbing is great. All the platforming, which like the series is known for, is it's all there. Like there's some of these jumps that just, it, you have to leap like pretty far, and she's like sitting there trying to like reach for it, and it's just an adrenaline rush for like
I
some of these
also love that you
jumps.
have to hit the X button every time to swing your axe to hit a wall. That
Right. Yeah.
adds that small little button press adds so much to the platforming. Like, I died sometimes and I was like, "Oh, I forgot to hit X." 'Cause I don't know if I think Uncharted just gives it to you.
Yeah.
I
Like,
can't
if you're
remember.
on the wall, I don't know, I can't actually remember, but, like, some games just give it to you, like if you walk up to the climbable surface, but you actually have to swing the axe to get into the wall. That was
Yeah.
such a big deal for me.
Like I
Dude, not
like
only that. Oh, go ahead.
Like, I haven't played the Uncharted series, but, like, the like, other series that you play, like, it just feels so smooth in this game, like, the climbing and stuff, like, anytime, like, you swing your racks to, like, it just you never have those moments where it's like, "Oh, that's bullcrap. I definitely should have made that, or I should have clinged on." Like, it works every single time, at least anytime I play these games, and
Yeah.
they just nailed it.
The other thing that I wanted to say is that not only does the game feel great to play, there's also something for everybody. Like, there's the exploration everywhere, there's puzzle solving, there's climbing and jumping, there's gunplay, there's stealth, there's, all kinds of environmental stuff that you can use to your advantage in combat, like exploding barrels, or if enemies are up on a ledge that has one of those ropes around it, you can shoot your bow and pull it and it
Mhm.
drops and they fall. Like, there's so much stuff you can do in the game that, like, for a, a 15-hour, 22-hour 100 percenter, like there's so much stuff to do. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, there's tons of collectibles and tons of things to look out for and different quests objectives like light all of these lanterns or burn all of these flags or
But yeah,
just
the
like
little side quests.
Yeah.
there's just so much upgrading, I mean, what can you say? What more does the game
I
have
know.
missing?
I was gonna say that like this game literally has pretty much everything you would need from like a game like this.
I also like that it doesn't have anything you don't. Like one of the thing I don't like about Uncharted is the relic system because it's not a system. Either get it or you miss it, and it doesn't do anything for you to get it. Like you don't get a powered up character or skill points or anything like that. Like
Like
it
an
just
It's
feels
just
bad.
treasure.
It
just
just
a
feels bad
just,
to not get it.
yeah, just an
Like
empty collectible. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
get you.
So the like I think what this game accomplishes, but then like what's not there is really important too. There's not a lot of fluff.
Right.
Like it's exactly what you need.
Well,
And
that
in this
too.
game,
You know
when
what?
you collect something like in a tomb, it gives you cogs and experience.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. And what I was gonna say too is like with the quote unquote empty collectibles, like you get like voiceovers and stuff for like some of these relics of like, what they were used for back in the day and stuff. So it's like even when you do collect something that doesn't directly power up your character, you get like, either
A
like
little
real
history
life,
lesson.
yeah, either real life knowledge or you like get something like that was, in the game itself.
Yeah, but if you get them all, you get EXP for it. So there is an in-game reward for doing it.
Well, there you go. It's
Still
even
if you collect like all of the coins, like all of the 3 coins, then you get EXP for that. But like also one little tidbit about that, I like how she can either be in combat or just have murdered 7 people, and then she's like, "Oh, look at this fan from the Edo
Yeah, I was gonna say that about the presentation. You'll fall into an area and she's like, "This is definitely, blah 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 period," and you're like, "Oh, that's cool, but I'm not gonna remember
era."
that." But
But it's so inappropriate. It's like she falls into a pit of spikes, hurts herself, goes like bloody, and then like the screen's like black and white, and she's like limping, and then you go over to the treasure chest. She's like, "Look at this coin. It must have been used for some kind of currency."
traditional Japanese garments didn't have pockets, so they used this to.
While she's like bleeding out.
Yeah. Tonal issues with the collectibles. So where did you land on gameplay for that, Dan?
Easy 5.
Easy 5?
How can I not?
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, it's such a good playthrough, so much fun.
Solid.
All right, so pacing. This is the category that makes you feel whether you're in it or you're falling out of it, and does it hold your interest?
That's a Senko for me.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, it is constantly bombarding you with objectives like action sequences. It keeps you engaged with the real-time actions. It that you're constantly falling or rolling or climbing, jumping, shooting, like running around like pacing wise, you just feel like you are there and you're you're literally doing it. It's such a gripping game, really.
yeah. No, I'm the same way. Like this everything, like nothing overstays its welcome. Everything is like all the jumping you do is, all done differently and uniquely. And then like you got like the like the tombs, the optional tombs that you can go through. And like we said, like nothing is missable. So you could find something, a tomb, but if you don't feel like exploring it right then and there, you don't have to. Like you could skip it and come back to it.
And those side quests don't take you that far out of the way, which is nice. Like, you know how sometimes in a game the side quest really takes you upriver and then you come back to the main quest and you're like, what was I doing? But yeah, it's not really like that here, which is kind of nice. So are 5s across the board there too?
Yeah, man, I
Damn,
feel
fellas.
completely
Damn,
engaged
fellas.
the whole time.
Yeah, this yeah, I would have to say 5 as well, yeah.
All right. Ability. That's the category of not only can you play it, but would you play it in 2026?
100%.
Yeah,
That's
it's easy. It was like $7 for the trilogy, like on Steam, available everywhere.
Yeah,
twist my arm.
It's
yeah.
dude, it's hard not to
And
Choice specs.
it plays
And
great
it's not
too.
even a big commitment either.
Yeah,
No.
It's
and
like
it
you finish the game in like 8 hours.
plays great
Yep.
too. There's like
Yep.
nothing you could say about it.
Probably 8 to 20 hours if you wanted to do anything, which is nice. You get to choose how long you want to spend with this game and feel satisfied.
And then there's different difficulties. So
Yep.
if you want an easy experience, you put it on easy. You want a harder experience, put it on hard.
Exactly.
I don't remember if Uncharted has a difficulty setting, but this does. So
Probably. I think so. I think I played the first one on hard after I played the fourth one.
So who wants to start off with choice specs?
Yeah, so choice specs is the category where we grade it based on its uniqueness and whether or not we feel like that uniqueness is good, because sometimes the game is unique but not good. So I'm not going to lie, in this category, I'm going to give it a 1. There is nothing in this game that isn't done somewhere else and usually done with something else added on nowadays. This is like very much cookie cutter. I don't even feel like the story sticks out particularly well. It's all fun. It's a good mix of what it is, but there's nothing there's nothing in this game that's going to rock your socks off, I feel like,
Yeah.
or
that's fair.
surprise you. Like, you sign up for what you get, I think. I don't know. So that's my take. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 1 for this.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat with like what you said, but like what it just does so well. So like you know what you're getting into, but like it's done flawlessly across the board. And yeah, the game didn't really do anything that hasn't been done before. But like when you add everything together, it's just a solid experience. And I would recommend this game to anybody. So for me, I'm just gonna give it, a medium score. I'll give it a 3.
So you
I
feel
feel
like
like
the sum of all its parts are what makes it stand out?
You
well,
pretty
I have something to add to that, and
Okay.
it might change you guys' idea because I don't know if you thought about it or not. This game may not have done anything new and exciting compared to like Uncharted, for example, which kind of kickstarted these. But this is the reboot. This is what gets you into the other two games and excited for the new sequel and the reboot or the remake of the first game. This is the first game in a great trilogy. Like, on top of everything else that we've said about it, I'm going to give it a 4 on choice specs because it's what got me into this series and had so many more hours of fun.
yeah.
This is almost a perfect game for me.
Oh
This
yeah.
game was so good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking at our scores, it is almost a perfect game.
That
Yeah.
and like, this game specifically made them like a diehard like Tomb Raider fan. So not only do they go through like the trilogy, they actually go back and play like the actual original games. So I mean, this game has actually done a lot for the actual IP.
Yeah. And on top of all that, it's like I lost my train of thought. But
That's okay.
He's
I
just
have
so
so much good
dumbfounded
to
about
say.
how good this game was.
And to think I had
I
to
remember
twist
now.
his arm to get him to do this segment, Dan. You remember that?
Yeah.
No, I remember what it was now.
Look at how excited he is.
The fact that this game is so condensed and shortened is also wonderful. Like, you could go and play Uncharted 1 and you feel like you've been playing for so long and you don't get where you expect to be.
Yeah.
This game,
Uncharted 1 has pacing issues, definitely.
but like pacing in this game, because it's so short and it's a bite-sized game comparative to even the other two games are longer than this one, Rise and Shadow. This one specifically is more of a bite-sized game. So if you're looking for something that isn't too, time
Arduous.
consuming, yeah, arduous, it's also a great choice. Like I don't know. I'm glad I brought it.
Yeah, very good pick.
So I tallied it up, and that gives us a 68 out of a possible 75 points, which brings us to a 90.66666666666 infinite. But we could just call it 90.6, 96.7, something like that.
See what you did there.
We'll just round it up to a 90, 91. That'll be our score, a 91%, which I think was only like one more point than we gave you Yakuza, if I remember correctly.
Maybe I don't remember.
So that is our score, but we actually had quite a few people or we had a few people play along with us, or at least write in a little bit
Yeah,
about it.
I think some people actually like picked it up for the first time too.
Yeah, so I know Danko Misty definitely played it, and I think Hux started to play it too. But let's see. So mission accomplished because Danko Misty says, "Oh, I've been wanting to play these. I just haven't started. Guess it's a good time." It's good.
Absolutely.
Exactly. JMO says the first game is whistling and okay symbol. His choice. Or maybe it's chef's kiss
Yeah,
between those two things because the little whistling face looks like it's kissing.
yeah, Chef's
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's Chef's Kiss.
Lycianthia says, I played the first one and enjoyed it. Don't remember if I finished it. Can't say if there was anything that stuck out in terms of gameplay, but I did like the redesign of
Lara.
Lara from the OG games.
Sounds like he needs to listen to this episode and go back to it.
Yep.
Maybe he'll get a
Yeah,
better appreciation.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He probably will.
Huck said, so I bought that Tomb Raider collection and trying to start it tonight to download during dinner, but when I tried to launch it, it's downloading content at 1% per minute.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a him problem.
yeah. It definitely was because I downloaded the game like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have that issue.
And he also mentions a little bit how it's playing great on his Ally. And
Yeah,
yeah, I have to say too that it really does play well. And I had this
excellent.
and
Hits
I
that
had this
like
on
sweet spot.
high settings. It's great. And then I also put a poll in Discord this week that I kind of want to talk over with you guys, but because we didn't vote, and my vote's probably going to surprise you, but basically I did a who would win: Samus Aran or Lara Croft in street clothes in a room full of sharp objects. So Samus doesn't have the power suit. So
I'm gonna be honest with you, Don. I think Samus would wipe the floor with Lara Croft. Like I don't even think it would be close.
So listen, hear me out. I do think that Samus is the better fighter for sure. Like if it was just a street fight in a ring, no sharp objects, I think Samus will win absolutely 100% every time. But you don't think that Lara takes a few off of that? Like if you ran that simulation 1,000 times?
I don't. I guess it really depends on which Lara you're talking about. Like this game specifically, no, hell no.
No. Like peak Lara.
Peak Lara, I don't know if you're talking about like 1,000 fights, maybe she'll get 10 of them. I don't know. I don't think it'd be that
Because
close.
like I know the Metroid DNA thing exists, but let me counter and say, like, I played Metroid Dread, okay, and those Emmys are chasing you down with sharp objects, and they use it to stick it to
Yeah,
you,
yeah, but
and like
those
that's
Emmys are
it.
like super metal or whatever, and that pierces through her suit and stuff like that, like
But
indestructible.
she's not wearing a suit. She's not wearing a suit in this scenario.
I don't know. I thought like
Like
most of the time that
that Metroid DNA like hyper cannon thing she does at the end of that game is such a Deus Ex. Like
yeah,
we don't know if it's going to happen every time. Otherwise, she should just stab herself in the neck every time she gets in a fight.
Well, Samus also has Chozo DNA, and she's been trained martial arts by not only the Chozo, but the Federal Galactic Military.
yeah.
She relies a lot on her equipment, though.
Well, yeah,
Like
but
Samus never throws fisticuffs or doesn't use the environment much.
I mean, yeah, we don't witness it, but like you could say the same for Lara. You don't see her throwing fists either.
No, but she does. That's my point. Lara and Samus, like Samus might try to fist fight Lara in this room, but Lara's going to use the environment more than Samus will, and I wonder if the environment gives her any kind of an edge in your guys' mind. It's okay if the answer is no.
I don't
I'm
know.
done. That's my case. I
Nope.
put my case on the
I'm sorry,
table.
Don. Nope.
yeah, Samus is a intergalactic bounty hunter and is probably prepared for hooligans with sharp objects.
She is, but she doesn't have her stuff.
I don't think it matters.
Anyway, there are 4 people who voted for Lara. You guys, we're the Lara Bros, okay? And only 6 people who voted for Samus, okay? So it's really not that big of a margin.
Yeah, it was
I'm
close.
not that insane this time. This isn't a repeat of Zelda being the most musical game.
You were wildly out of pocket on that one. Sorry.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it for Tomb Raider. We're gonna set that one aside. 90% is what we give it. Tell us we're right or wrong in the comments. It got nearly a perfect score in every category that counts. And I get to pick the next game. And our next game was hinted at the top of this episode when we talked about people overestimating the importance of Final Fantasy VII and 100-hour games and being disappointed at the outcome. Because I am picking a game that is on my backlog list for a vindictive reason now. because a really unfortunate thing happened in a card game that is sort of a side game, but sort of the main game in this Final Fantasy title. I am picking Final Fantasy VIII, going back to that, because we haven't covered it on the podcast. So we're going to play Final Fantasy VIII for the next 2 weeks.
Stuff, I haven't played that since high school, so
You're the best looking guy here.
it's so good. It's like one of his eyes is like where his cheek area is.
I think it's the mouth that makes it for me. He looks like my dog when I touch him. I get it at the wrong time.
He's the one.
And before I say game over, I do like to say thank you to our audience. Really makes it worthwhile to do this with you guys every week, especially those of you who hang out in our Discord with us. Our theme music is by Cubby. It's Seahorse Dreams. Go check him out if you like our theme music. And how could you not like our theme music? It's sweet. You know, and you could throw him a bone on his Bandcamp, just like we did for his full albums. He's doing God's work over there. And our editing is done by us, all of our graphic design, and all the things that you guys interact with in terms of the Cable Club. It's all done by the three of us. So what a 3 talented guys we are. So I think that's it for today, fellas. Game over.
Game over.
Game over. La, la.